Well, here we are again. I had a time finding this marker, the Chesapeake Indians. Now, I was born and came from the Akwesasne or St. Regis Indian Reservation and thought I knew something about being Indian. Didn't know beans. I didn't even realize the Chesapeake Indians existed. This sign you'll find in Virginia, above Virginia Beach, right on the edge of Norfolk, or middle of Norfolk actually. In 1585, two Indian towns, the Chesapeake Indians called, pardon the pronunciation, Apassus and Chesapeake, were visited by the English Roanoke expedition and later included in the Theodore de Bray's map of Virginia. Archaeologist research conducted at Great Neck neighborhood, and this is right off of Great Neck Road, East Great Neck Road, in 1970s and 80s, and yielded evidence of continual habitation for at least 1,000 years before 1600 AD. Several houses sites were found, and among them parts of Palisades pottery, trash piles, shell, beads, and stone tools. The remains of 64 Chesapeake Indians from the Great Neck area were sorry about that. The remains of 64 Chesapeake Indians from the Great Neck site area were reburied by members of the Nansmouth Indian tribe at nearby First Landing State Park, which is just to the southeast of me now. First Landing is a state park right at the top of Virginia Beach. And to dig up an Indian burial site is truly a sin. But they did this for 64 of them and were reburied. Now, here's another marker I had really a hard time finding, but Indian prisoners abandoned on Tangier Island. Following the paramount chief Opalachetanao's 1644 organized attacks against the English colonies for encroaching on Indian lands, Governor William Berkeley led further military strikes against the Virginian Indians in July 1645, taking many prisoners. On August 9th, in Virginia, Council decided to transport all of the Indian male prisoners more than 11 years old to Tangier Island, which is in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay, very remote, on the Chesapeake Bay, to prevent their returning to and strengthening their respective tribes. Berkeley's own ship transported the prisoners to Tangier, where they were abandoned. Their fate is unknown. Now, I shall try to get to Tangier Island and follow this lead up. No promises, but unbelievable. This is where they were stuck out in the middle of Chesapeake Bay with no way to get off Tangier Island. Now realize that the Chesapeake Indians, which I didn't even know existed thousands of years before their discovery in 1644. And there's evidence of that in the archaeological finds. So we're talking about probably some of the early residents of the Chesapeake Bay and Norfolk area. All disappeared.